Blessed with a gift, I never plan to rap. Or rapport builder, I relate by reporting facts. A lot of allies, bad apples, how I figured that. Surely who you rooting for gonna show me where you planted that. Craving food for thought, I could spare him a breadcrumb. We don't look to y'all no more, it's my new anthem. What I'm building got a strict floor plan. Take the cream out the Oreo. We cutting out the middleman, killing them. A lot of these dudes like Flat Braille, I ain't feeling them. My mind Titanic, ship them off, then I'm sinking them. If the connection bad, shut it off or you gonna sync with them. Cam raps, killer Cam, same difference. That's a synonym. Tactical syntax. I'm black like the berry you call through. I mean, I'm black like a berry. I bear fruit. You see how easily words can get twisted? That's why I mind to run my own business. You dig it? CV the gang, man. Yeah.
Pornography struggles and race conflicts at Liberty University. In this episode of Testimony Musician Story, the Rapzilla Freshman of 2021, Kham, shares his Christian testimony. Kham's mom put the fear of God into him, so he lived a middle-of-the-road type life, except for his private struggles with pornography. Kham also discusses the racial conflicts that took place while studying at the Christian conservative school, Liberty University. Additionally, he breaks down Problematic, Time for Real featuring Red Tips and Jackie Soul, and the freshman Rapzilla Cypher in the 4-song breakdown. Yeah, I get it. There was only 3 songs, so technically this is 3-song breakdown in the 4-song breakdown. I am Gaylika Brown, and this is Sound Seekers Presents Testimony and Musician Story.
I'm Kham, and this is my testimony.
And I would like to start with your first music memory, whether it be a song you heard,
Mm-hmm.
a video, performance,
Oh man, first music memory like ever.
ever, yeah. Well, that you can remember.
It probably had to be when I was like 6 or 7 years old. I used to I used to like sneak into my parents' bedroom to watch the little music video countdowns on like 106 and Park and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I wasn't supposed to. But I just remember like that era, like early 2000s where like Jermaine Dupri was like running everything hip hop. So
Mm-hmm.
that probably honestly was my first like music memory, just watching him and all the artists he worked with, their music videos and their music and stuff like that.
Well, that was the era when him and Mariah were making all kinds of hits and
Yeah, that
bringing her
was like
back.
that era, like the crunk era, all that stuff. Everybody thought they were Lil Jon. Yeah, all of that.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like 6.
Okay. And where were you born and raised?
So I was born in Maryland, but I was actually raised in Virginia Beach, Virginia. So I claim 757 till I die. I was raised there from the age 3 all the way up to 18 when I started bouncing between there and Northern Virginia where I went to school at. But Virginia Beach is home.
Okay, Virginia Beach. And is Cam your real name?
Yeah, so it's actually my nickname. My full name is Cam Brell, but I got the nickname Cam in high school playing basketball. For some reason, my coach thought Cam Brell was too much. It was like 2 syllables, but he was like, "Can we go with Cam?" I was like, "I'm just trying to make the team." Yeah, let's go
Yeah.
with Cam. So yeah, it stuck. It stuck, and I've loved it. It stuck.
Okay. And did you have any siblings?
Yes, I have a younger sister. She's actually 18, getting ready to start college, which is making me feel old. But yeah, just one younger sister.
Okay. Did you grow up in a two-parent household?
Yes, I did. I did. I'm definitely blessed to have both parents.
Sweet. And was it a Christian household?
It was. It was. My mother, especially, was very instrumental in instilling faith in myself and my sister growing up. She's actually from South America. She's from Guyana, South America.
Okay.
So, being where she's from, faith is a staple. Once you give your life and submit your life to Christ, it's like a complete 180 turn. And then they take it very, very seriously. And she instilled that same just reverence for the faith in us for sure.
So she had given her life to Christ before she had you?
Yeah, she gave her life to Christ. I want to say when she was 11 or 12. She was one of the first people in her family, actually. She
Okay.
did, and it kind of just trickled down through her family and her siblings from there. So she kind of really became like a young matriarch almost in her family. And she definitely brought that over to the States when she came over to the States when she was around 13, 14.
Okay.
And then, of course, when she went on growing up and had me and my sister. Yeah.
Okay. So was there any of her Ghana influence like in your upbringing?
Oh yes, I don't know if you can see this. Oh, you can't. Hold on. You got to see
Okay.
this.
Yeah,
This
peek
is.
to the flag.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I keep the flag on me. No, yeah. Guyanese culture plays such a role growing up, just like from the food to my character. One thing about Guyanese people, they're so strong, so resilient, and very passionate. And I believe that you can hear all of that in my music, really. So it played a huge instrumental role in growing up.
Okay. And so you grew up in a Christian household, but
Hmm.
when did the faith become real to you?
Yeah, now this is where it gets interesting because for me, I accepted Christ into my life when I was 9 years old.
Okay.
And to give context to that, my mom, she used to she found these like Christian workbooks that I guess they use in like private schools. I don't know where she found these, but she used to order them, and me and my sister used to work through them. You know, they're like little Bible stories and different lessons and things like that. And there was just one on Revelation. I don't know why Revelation was in like a fourth grade
Yeah.
curriculum for a private school,
That's
but
deep.
yeah, it was in there.
Okay.
So me and her were working through it, studying it, and I'm just, she's trying her best to break down the end times to a 9 year old. And I think, I don't know, it just something clicked. Like I needed a savior. Like it wasn't necessarily like I felt scared or anything like that. It just something clicked inside of me. I really need a savior. And so that's when I was like, I want to accept Jesus. And I did. And I remember literally feeling the Holy Spirit come into my heart. But it really wasn't until 6, 7 years after that, when I was like 16 in high school, that I really believe I made my faith my own. Because, like I said, I was raised in a Christian household, went to church, Bible study, prayer meeting, over the phone conference, all that, So it was just like I knew the routine, but I didn't know like relationship necessarily. And I used to always see my mom model relationship, but I'm like, how do you get there? Like, how does she have? Maybe that's just her thing or something. So when I turned 16, being in high school and public school, and just seeing like some of the things my friends were settling for and
Hmm.
getting into, it just made me question like there has to be more to life than this. Like this, we're like 16 in high school. This can't be the peak.
Yeah.
And that's when again it clicked. Like Jesus, and the relationship with Christ opens your eyes to so much more. It just expands your perspective on life, and so that's really where my real walk, I think, with Christ, as far as making my faith my own, really began.
When you were 16,
16,
by looking
baby,
at
when I was
your
9.
peers and what they were doing,
Yes, and a lot of
did you
kids get sucked
partake in
in.
any of it, or you just were observing?
No, no, my mom put the fear of God in me from early age. I was not like that's not to say I didn't have certain struggles too, and I'll definitely get into that. But just seeing some of the things like drugs, weed, sexual things that people were getting involved in, I just one was like, my mama don't play none of this. I can't. I stayed out the way,
Yeah.
but yeah, for sure. And I think her the way I was raised and just my upbringing, it definitely kind of led me to steer the opposite direction versus like peer pressure sucking me in one way. So
Well, I mean, she really put the fear of God in you.
yeah,
If you
yeah.
were just
I
an.
wasn't scared of the teachers, principals. It was like, my mama.
Okay, so you gave your life to Christ at 16, but do you mind if I ask how old you are now?
I'm 24. I'm
24.
24.
So,
Just turned 24 in June.
well, happy belated birthday.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, the time span between 16 and 24, like,
Hmm.
I mean, how was that journey? Was it just all roses and pink clouds? Like,
I wish. I wish. I know, like, to anyone out there who's pursuing their relationship with Christ and their faith and thinks that it's going to be sun and rainbows when you accept Christ, it is not. It's definitely been one of these. And I feel like my journey with just the faith is a unique one because I don't have like the outrageous kind of crazy things necessarily that have personally happened to me, and I also don't have perfect like I just it's just me and God skipping through daisies. I'm like in the middle, And I feel like sometimes when you're kind of in that middle ground of like, well, there's uh certain like struggles, like for example, just being completely transparent. uh I was exposed to pornography at a really young age, like 12, 13, by a friend.
Mm-hmm.
And the effects of that really hit me harder in high school, as far as like dealing with like lust and struggling with lust. And for me, it wasn't like a thing that I acted on, but it was a thing that was like inside me and led to, further uh things, looking into like pornography and things like that. And it really wasn't until I want to say sophomore, probably like first semester sophomore year, where I
Yeah.
really felt like I got deliverance from that. And so, some of the things like that, which is a thing that many a Christian struggles with in silence,
Mm-hmm.
and so being in like that kind of a, oh, sorry.
I mean, I was just gonna say also for your generation, it was so much accessible to you guys because you can pull it
Yeah,
up on your phones and cameras. Like
yeah,
back in my day when
yeah.
I was exposed to it, it was actual VHS tapes
Mm.
in my neighbor's house that she was stealing for like from her uncle and playing. Like
Oh my goodness. Yeah, like magazines, all that, but
yeah,
no, it was
magazines and
very
VHS
accessible.
tapes, but you guys can just pull it up on your phones or your
Hmm.
iPads or whatnot. So I'm pretty sure like that struggle had to like really been challenging just because of the accessibility.
Oh, for sure. Definitely. And even more so going like later in high school, like junior, senior year, just playing sports and, peers being very sexually active and talking about it and trying to like not necessarily pressure me, because everyone knew what I was on. They knew that Cam, Cam's the Christian. We gotta, and they respected it. It wasn't like a lot. It wasn't like a let's joke and forward type thing. It was a respect thing for sure. But they
Yeah.
still were like, man, you want to have some fun? And I was just like, nah, man, I'm good off all that. But it was like the behind closed doors kind of personal struggle for sure.
But you said when you were what, like 17, you felt delivered from that? What?
No, honestly, it was probably sophomore year of college. So I was
Oh,
what,
college.
18?
Okay.
Yeah, so it was something that like it was one of those things where spending so long just kind of like battling it, like talking to God, like in private time, like, God, can you take this from me? Just take this from me. Just take this from me. But not necessarily doing the things I needed to do to give it to him, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah, totally
And I
makes
remember, yeah, just kind of going back and forth with that. Going to college thinking, hey, starting fresh, this is college. It'll be left back. No, it
sense.
wasn't left back. It followed me straight to school. Um, and I just remember like, so I went to Liberty University,
Okay.
put that out there.
Okay.
So we used to have these campus community nights, which were like basically big Bible studies campus wide. So we'd all meet in the big like basketball arena and have worship and Bible studies. And it was this one night where we just worshiped all night, and I just really felt I just like tugging at me. And I remember I've never really been the real charismatic praiser kind of type that's like, crying and like hands raised and all that.
Yeah.
But that night, man, I just like felt the tug, tug, tug. And I knew exactly what it was about. And because that was really the one thing that I just had not like just given to God, you know what I'm saying? And so like that night, I remember just going down. Um, it's like all coming back, like in my, I'm like feeling it in my chest.
Yeah.
I remember going down, just kneeling on like they basically created like a floor space, which was like they're like this is like the altar open type thing. Went down. I remember just kneeling down, like prostrate, just crying, and I remember literally hearing like in my ear like you never get too close. And that's been something I haven't written down like in my journal from that day. And that was really the day I feel like I gave that to Christ. And I had, there was other like shepherds and leadership that came and was like talking to me, praying over me. And that moment I felt was like that turning point in that struggle. So yeah,
That's intense.
it was, yeah, it was almost like, but I honestly I thank God for it though, because
Hmm.
get so many other people I guess like are like forced delivered in other ways,
Yeah.
whereas things come out and other things develop from that lust issue. I mean, we're seeing like we talk about man, a lot of Ravi Zacharias and all these other things. And I'm just like, God, thank you for allowing me, giving me the opportunity, giving me another chance to give this to you in this type of a setting. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And saving me from any other future repercussions and things like that.
I'm not familiar with, who do you say, Robbie Zacharias? What?
Ravi Zacharias, he's, or I guess
Mm.
was, a really renowned,
Oh,
Ravi
Robbie.
Zacharias, when,
Yeah,
yeah,
Robbie.
Ravi, and that whole, you know, all that's been coming out with that situation, and you're hearing about all these other leaders, affairs, and all these other things that
Yeah.
just stem from that issue. So
And so it's really good that you got delivered at such a young age too, though, and it didn't carry
yeah,
over into your grown adulthood.
yeah, yeah, and just, I mean, of course, like, I feel like our struggles with sin don't. There are times where they completely, you might get delivered and it's just gone, but a
Yeah.
lot of things, they linger.
It's,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
for
The
sure.
effects. Let me say the effects linger.
Yeah.
And so I'll be, like I said, completely honest. Like, even now, there's times where, like, random, thoughts and things like that will pop into your head, but it's like, I know for me, I'm on the other side of it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So when the enemy, whatever, just if it's just psychological, as far as just so many years watching these things, viewing these things, and those just images coming, I'm able to grab those and throw them away. You know what I'm saying? So is still an ongoing battle, but one
I
I feel like
mean,
I'm on the other side of.
and do you feel that it's also challenging being that you're in a relationship as well?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Because me, and this is why I say my journey, I feel like, is really unique, because a lot of the things that I've gone through, you would assume that they would turn me a certain way, but they really kind of turn me the opposite. So even, for example, with dealing with lust and things like that, it wasn't a thing that made me turn into like a womanizer and disrespect women. It pushed me the opposite way. Like, and I mean, maybe I was compensating subconsciously. I don't know, but I've always been someone who's respected women. My mother is one of the biggest role models to me, and has taught me really what it means to be a man, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
and how to interact with girls and women and protect women in public and be vigilant and all those things. So it pushed me towards that way. So even in my relationship now, all that's coming out, and I feel like I'm able to be the man that my girlfriend deserves in that relationship because of all these things. So
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And I see that your girlfriend is an actress and a podcaster from Cali.
yeah, Bay Area.
Oh, she's from the Bay
Yes,
too?
she's
Okay.
from the Bay. Yeah, straight up
Okay.
Oakland, Hayward.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
from the Bay,
So,
man.
so I'm from Sacramento, and obviously I'm a
Oh,
podcaster
word.
and I act as well. So I was like, okay, cool.
Really? Y'all need to
Yeah.
connect. Let me link y'all up. See if y'all can network some for sure.
That's cool.
Yeah, because she's getting ready to graduate from Liberty as well, and
Okay.
she just got actually nominated for an Irene Ryan Award for excellent performance in an original piece that some students from Liberty created called the Cypher. So shout out to her. But yeah,
Shout out. Right on. Right on. I have to like commend some of you artists, because when I research you, I end up finding out about like either your girlfriends or your
yeah.
fiancés or wives, and they're like totally amazing people. I'm like, can
Oh
I
yes.
interview them?
Please do. She would love that. Like, behind
So,
every king is a strong queen. I believe that thoroughly.
um, so Liberty University. I did not go to a private university.
Mhm.
So, how was that experience? Did you go to a public high school?
Yes. So public school all the way up the elementary, middle, high school, and then went to a Christian,
Hmm.
conservative Christian college. So that was another thing. My mom was like, I want y'all in public school. I want y'all to be able to go experience things and come home to me, and us to hash those out and talk about those versus kind of
Mm,
shielding you. You know what I'm
okay, I
saying? And
like
then
that.
you get to go to the Christian college
Yeah.
and kind of, yeah, just it was because some people would think, like, Christian school prepares you to go out into like the world, but it's something different about being in public school and just getting exposed to things and being able to come home and chop it up about them. So
Yeah. So, but going to the private school or Christian
Hmm.
college, what kind of, how was that experience in comparison to the public school?
So one thing I would say, starting first, just on like a educational standpoint, I believe the Christian school experience was a lot better personally. Like the teachers, professors I had were very, very personal. They really cared about the students and would really go out of their way to accommodate the students. Like I remember this one time I got like food poisoning and I was out for a week, and my teacher was like, "Hey, rest. You need some fluids. I can get some to your dorm." I was like, "What?"
What?
So
Yeah.
they're very, very personal. They
Okay.
really care about the students. Um, Whereas I know I've heard of other like universities where it's just like, "Hey, I'm getting paid whether you come to class and you do this work or not. So
Yeah.
do you." So
No
on
one's
that level,
trying
of
to deliver
course,
fluids to you.
I was like, "What is this? This is some different hands and feet Jesus type stuff. This is crazy." But that, student body for the most part was great. I think where the riff kind of came in specifically at Liberty for me was being that it is a PWI, it's a predominantly white institution. And not just that, but a
I've never.
predominantly,
Is that a real term?
that's a real term. You got HBCUs, PWIs. Yeah.
Okay. I went to a HBCU, but I didn't know the
Oh,
other
shout
school was
out.
called
Yes. Wait,
PWI.
what school? Which school? What school is it?
Texas Southern University in
Oh,
Houston.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I almost went to Howard actually, sidebar. It was
Right
it was
on.
really close. It was really close. But no, being at Liberty, specifically being that it was a conservative PWI, I think opened my eye to a whole nother world. I knew nothing about conservatism. I barely really knew much really about politics because it's not really my thing. I really don't like politics and things like that. But being there, hearing some of these values, the more kind of traditional um, values, and learning the history and what things are rooted in, it really just opened my eyes to a lot of like the systemic kind of racial things
Mm,
in our world.
yeah.
So yeah, I think that struggle as far as like uh, bashing heads with other student student body members on things of social justice issues, racial injustice issues,
Mm,
telling simple things to us. It's like saying Black Lives Matter is nothing more than a sentiment of the fact that our lives matter when people are treating us like we don't. Whereas they're thinking, oh no, that's a terrorist group type stuff. So
yeah. I mean, because you went to school during a time period where like everything
ooh,
was popping off,
yeah,
like all kinds of black men getting killed in the streets, women as
yeah,
well, and
yeah. And I
yeah.
remember we literally actually won man, I think it was I want to say fall 2018, we actually did a protest on campus. Really wasn't even specifically for like social injustice regarding like black individuals. There was an instance where a student had like dressed up for Halloween because it was like October, November, and it was around the time where ICE was doing a lot of raids, and there was a lot of families, Hispanic families getting broken and
Hmm.
deported, kids getting stripped away, all that. And he dressed up like or two students dressed up like an ICE agent and an immigrant and tried to, it was just so insensitive and so cruel.
God.
And we really just like were sick of it because there had been other racially insensitive things done on campus regarding like, I've had multiple friends get called the N-word and all that type of stuff. We just were fed up. So we protested, trying to raise awareness more so about that issue. And then there was the group of students that came over and tried to turn it into a whole like, oh, this is a Black Lives Matter thing. And it really didn't start like that. But I was like,
Mhm.
y'all, we were like, y'all want to take it there? Let's take it there. And we had some good dialogues that day, some not so good, you know. But that experience, I think, again, definitely molded me into who I am today, even regarding my music. So,
I mean, were there like conflicting feelings though? Because you're at this school, a Christian school, trying to learn Christian
hmm,
values, but
yeah,
these people at the same time are calling you out of your name
yeah,
and being
yeah,
insensitive with their costumes. Like, how
yeah.
does, I mean, really, how does that affect your walk and your faith?
Hmm. I think for me, if I didn't have the support system around me at the time that I had of like real brothers and sisters in Christ of multiple ethnicities, it would have. it could have really pushed me away and made me distant in faith, because you see these people who claim Jesus and are going hard during worship services and really, talking about service and all these Christian things, but yet the opportunity to serve someone of another race or ethnicity comes up, and it's a political issue to you instead
Mm,
of like oh, this is an opportunity for me to go be the hands and feet of Jesus type thing,
yeah.
But I had just an amazing support system around me that showed me Jesus every single day, like the real Jesus. Like there's this video I saw where it was a pastor. He was like showing like some of the kind of pictures of like white European Jesus, and it's like, that's not Jesus. That's not Jesus. So like they were that for me every day. And I think understanding that just gave me a sturdy enough foundation, a rooted foundation to be able to stand up against those things and try to engage in conversations as tiring as it was. Um, and as much as it hurt, especially people who claim Christ acting that way, trying to telling you to your face that like your life every day as a black woman, black man in America isn't what you're saying it is when you literally experience it every day. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So getting all of that, it was just we just had a support system. Community is key.
Community is definitely key for sure.
Yes, 100%.
So, you just received your Master's of Arts
Yes, I
degree?
did. I got two degrees. We double
Two
degreed up. I did.
degrees.
Yeah.
Double fisted.
Masters, masters in human services counseling, specifically marriage and family was like the cognate. But yeah,
Okay, well, congratulations.
thank you very much. I
And
got
that
this.
came
Well,
from
actually,
Liberty?
that's my bachelor's. I got to
Okay.
put the masters up. But
Okay.
yeah, both from Liberty. Both from Liberty.
Okay. Sweet. Um, so also other congratulations go to that. I guess it's a little dated, but still congratulations for what Charged Up being on
Oh
All
my
American.
goodness. Ooh, let's talk about that for a second,
Yes.
because that I'm still like random times I'll remember that like that happened, or like I think All Americans on Netflix now. The new season's on Netflix, so I have people like randomly
Oh yeah.
tag me in like, is that Karen? I'm just like, that did happen. Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
that was crazy.
That's so, I mean, let's talk about like when did you even find out that was happening?
So the way I found out was literally I got tagged in an Instagram post the day of. So like All American aired on like Mondays, every Monday night. That's one of my favorite shows. So I was tuned in every night, which is
Okay.
a terrible decision because there was a lot that left you hanging. They took a lot of mid-season breaks. Anyways, I was literally working at work. I get tagged in this post, and I looked at it and I was like, oh, this must be kind of like one of those shout out things. I think I literally commented like, hey, appreciate the love or something. I really couldn't look at it like I wanted to because I was
Yeah.
working. I then get a FaceTime call from Avila, who produced Charged Up,
Okay.
and I'm like, Avila, why are you calling me in the morning? It's like 9 a.m. And so I answered it, and he was like, or no, I texted him because I couldn't answer it. I was like, yo, I'm at work. What's up? Bro, did you see this? He sends me the same post. So I'm
Hmm.
like, what is this? And I actually really take time to read it, and I realized like it's saying one of my songs is going to be on All American tonight. And I'm like, what? So I hit up Travis, my manager, and also the CEO of Culture Villains. I hit him up and I'm like, bro, what is this? What is this? What's going on? You know about this? He was like, whoa, what is that? What is going on? And so we talked to him, talked to our people at Music Makers, who they're the sync company that we
Yeah.
basically made those songs for, and they sent them out, and we got it confirmed. And so that night, me, my family, my girlfriend, we all sat down and watched the episode, heard the song. It was so surreal.
That is so dope, man.
Yeah,
Congratulations. Okay. And how would you say that God's presence looks like in your life personally outside of the music?
yeah. Right now, I was actually just having this conversation with somebody the other day. Someone told me not too long ago that they feel like I'm in a refining process. And since they've told me that, I've been kind of seeking God out, like, what does this mean? Like, what are you trying to do in me? What are you trying to work in me? And I was talking to someone the other day about it, and I feel like his presence in my life right now is refining and like disciplining me
Mm.
as far as ensuring that I dedicate the time I need to dedicate to our relationship the way I do my other relationships, whether it's with my girlfriend, whether it's with my family, my friends. Um, because my during the week schedule is crazy busy, but you make time for the things you love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like God slapped me in the face with that recently because I get so busy sometimes, and I'm a hard worker. I work really hard, and I think very important things get neglected sometimes, such as um, my relationship with Christ.
Yeah.
As far as like that real one-on-one time where you're in the
Mhm.
Word, where you're praying. You know what I'm saying? I talk to God throughout the day. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? Like there's never a time where and there really hasn't been a day recently, I think in a while, where I haven't like said something to him during the day, like, help me, Lord, through this, or God, what is this? What do you want me to say in this situation? But having
Yeah.
that one-on-one time, you know how it is with
Mhm.
quality time. I feel like if God had love languages, quality time
Definitely one.
would definitely be one. So definitely, I feel like I'm in a refining process where he's just trying to discipline me. So whenever he does elevate and take me to that next level, that's already set in stone. There's not going to be a chance of me um, getting so busy doing whatever doors he opens for me. There's no chance for me getting so busy where I neglect that time. So,
Yeah. Okay. Right on. And how did you even get into music in the first place?
whew, I don't know.
You don't know.
No, I know. I'm just messing with you.
Just
It's
looked
crazy. I
up
never
and I was on
thought
Rapzilla.
that. Literally, so my Rapzilla Freshman freestyle, the first line where I said blessed with a gift I never planned to rap,
Yeah.
100% real life.
Okay.
It was a hobby up until literally my freshman year of college. It was a hobby. It was
Okay.
something I enjoyed doing, something that my friends enjoyed seeing me doing. And really, when I started music for real seriously, I was 17. It was like my senior year of high school. And I started just making songs, trying to give my friends like an alternative of something else to listen to,
Hmm.
other than what they were,
Okay.
because it was just a lot of them were just very influenced by what they were listening to, and it was an influencing them in the wrong way, and I ain't like that. So I tried to give them a positive alternative, and they liked it. So I
Okay.
was like, "Hey, I'm gonna just do it for this reason." I graduated, ended up getting some opportunities to perform and just interact with people, sharing the gospel and the different messages in my songs with them, and it just kind of clicked. Like this is something that God might want you to really do. But even then, I was just like, rapping, you know.
Yeah.
I got to college, got to Liberty, and just got surrounded by a lot of different people who saw that real gift in me, and poured into it and invested in it and helped me grow in artistry, grow as a man in faith, and just one thing to the next. God's always just open doors and continue opening doors, whether I pray for him to be open or not. And so I was just like, you know what? Right. I think in my freshman year, towards the end of my freshman year, I was like, God, I'm along for the ride. Like, if this is what we're doing, let's do it. So
Okay. So, what your debut album was problematic.
problematic. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I mean, before then, I mean, what from so from you going what in high school to problematic?
Yeah.
Like, how did that look?
Fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
So my first official single, like studio single, fall 2017, was called Incognito. And that was the first official song I had dropped. And that was, geez, that had to be like the end. Was that the end of my sophomore year? Either end of my sophomore year. No, I was probably starting my junior year. But uh, leading up to that point, it was just a lot of like refining my craft, trying to get better. I had never really been in a real studio until like the spring of 2017 when Travis of Culture Villains basically brought me in to work with another artist, Big A, and that was my first studio session. But dropped Incognito fall 2017. That it was showing some love. I feel like that was kind of like my foot in the door kind of moment, and from there, uh, joining Culture Villains in 2018, dropping Roll the Dice at the end
So,
of 2018.
what is? Can you expand on culture villains? What?
Yeah. So Culture Villains is the independent label that I am signed to. But also more than that, it's a space for believers like ourselves who love Jesus with all their heart, but are very very just real down to earth type people. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not the holier than thou, untouchable type.
Mhm.
We're very righteous and ratchet. You know, we're ourselves authentically, um, and love Jesus with all of our hearts. And so initially, it was created as kind of like a collective,
Mhm.
um, for different artists and just to have a safe space to express themselves. And it grew into the label side, founded, of course, by Travis James. And now it's home to me, home to Czar Josh. And we just rolling. God's really been doing some great things as far as turning that collective, that space into a movement. So
Right on. Okay. So sorry. So I was interrupting your timeline, but you joined Culture Villains, and then
yeah, 2018 dropped Roll the Dice, which was another single at the bottom. I think it was like December 2018. And then from there, that was kind of like, okay, now my legs in the door. It felt like kind of thing. Going into 2019, and we dropped our uh, compilation album Preseason, featuring all the artists on Culture Villains. Uh, that I feel like was kind of Culture Villains kind of entrance and introduction to the CHH space. Fast forward now through 2019, the fall 2019, September 2019 was when I started working on Problematic, and we
okay.
talked about actually doing a project. It started out as a mixtape actually, which I don't think a lot of people know. So it really wasn't supposed to be like an album, but just the
Mm.
way that the songs were coming, and I think I did like 5 or 6 songs at first, and we were like, we need one more to tie this all together. And then I came back with like 2, 3 more songs. We're like, these are all fire. Let's put them on there. We still need one more. Came back with another 2, 3. So every time I got asked to make one more song, I made like 3, and we kept them all, and they all followed a similar theme, and thus Problematic was born.
Okay. And you talked about meeting Andy Mineo in 2015 and then opening up for him in 2019.
Yes, yes. Oh, you do research. That was in I did a said that in the TikTok challenge. Yeah. So Andy honestly is my favorite artist. Like overall, not just in this space, but like overall.
Yeah, yeah.
And I met him at the Anomaly tour
Mm.
in Norfolk, Virginia, which is like 30 minutes from Virginia Beach, back in 2015. And he did like a pre-show Q&A meet and greet kind of thing. So I got those tickets, met him, got to talk to him a little bit. Fast forward all the way to fall September 2019, I got asked to open for him at Liberty for a student activities
Mm-hmm.
show,
Okay.
and that just occurred because I had done a couple student activity shows leading up to that, so just built a relationship with student activities and some of the leadership there. And they reached out to me and were like, "Hey, we're gonna try to get this approved, but would you like to open for Andy?" I was like, "Would I?" So that was crazy. That was insane. Getting to just kind of see him again and talking to him, and getting to do that show, and that was insane.
Okay. You've also received love from the crew Hip Hop Corner for U-Haul.
Hmm. Yeah, my guys, I love the crew. I love the crew, man. There's a lot of people, I guess, I think they get under a lot of people's skin just because of their takes and controversial takes and things. But I just love how real and authentic they are. I can respect that 100%. So I appreciate it. Every time they show love, or anytime anybody shows love, I appreciate it 100%.
Okay. Um, I mean, I guess this kind of goes to your experience at Liberty too, though. But the importance of
Mhm.
making songs like "What Bottom" and speaking on the experience of a black man in the
Yeah.
USA.
Yeah, both of them. Yeah, that song as well as the song "Thug" on Problematic, both are specifically on the topic of racial injustice. "Thug" was more so a conversation with the church, with Christians about how we're approaching it and looking at it, and then both of them was just more so of a real life, like, what's a good day for a black man in America? Here you go. So I think my experience, like you said, at Liberty,
Mm-hmm.
being faced, being having to face head on um, the effects of racism, as far as like people being just completely ignorant to the
Mm-hmm.
fact that our reality is a different reality than theirs. people being ignorant to the fact of, even though slavery was however many years ago, something like that doesn't just go
Go
away.
on.
There's
Yeah.
lasting effects, you know what I'm saying, on a systemic level. So it made me, I feel like I'd be doing a disservice to myself as a black man and to my community of black people to not use my platform to continue to push for the betterment and the quality of our lives. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Christian first, I'm a Christ follower first, but I'm still black. And I
You
want people
are?
to know that. Like,
You're
I don't know. I
black?
know this tan might be confusing, but I'm thoroughly, you know what I'm saying? Like that whole like, and this might be a tangent, but that whole I don't see color thing, I don't really like it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like God created us all uniquely and different for a reason, with different cultures and all
Yeah.
that to celebrate one another. You know what I'm saying?
If you don't
And
see
if you
color, then you don't see me.
You about to see. Woo, yeah, that's it. I was about to say it. That right there, you don't see me, you don't see what I'm going through and what we are going through. So
And then what's the title? What is Botham?
Botham was actually in reference to Botham John, who was a man who was killed. Oh my goodness, was it back? I can't remember the year specifically, but he was killed by an off-duty police officer who went into his apartment thinking that he had broken into hers. You might have remembered the
Yeah,
story
yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit.
Yeah, yeah. That was just
And
like within the
she, you
last two,
know,
3 years or something. Yeah.
yeah. And so she lived like a level above him. And she, was claiming to be tired and everything from working 12, 13-hour shift. Thought
Mm-hmm.
he broke in, came in, shot him. And for me, it wasn't like the situation, it was more so the aftermath of it. In terms of the way she was treated on trial, I felt like she was really coddled, as
Mm-hmm.
many white people are in those criminal situations. And I
Yeah.
feel like her sentencing wasn't appropriate, especially not when black women and men are in jail for weed, when weed is legal in other places, and
Exactly.
like all of that. It was just
Yeah.
I felt like it showed the systemic side of things for sure. It wasn't necessarily the situation that was racial. It was I feel like the aftermath for me. And so kind of reflecting on that, creating a song just about the black experience in America was where that kind of stemmed from.
Okay. So, you now are Rapzilla Freshman.
Whew, yeah, yeah,
I mean, does it seem like everything is happening kind of quickly to you, or no?
yes, 100% yes. Yeah, I think, like I said, God's just continued to open door after door after door. And like I didn't know when I told him like I'm down for the ride. I didn't know we was gonna go this fast. But no, like Rapzilla, I was so grateful and honored to be a part of this class specifically, being that this class was revolutionary. First class to do a cypher, first
Mm,
class to have a showcase.
yeah,
Just all we were able to do in Atlanta. But it's crazy. It's like full circle because I grew up like looking up Rapzilla like as a kid, trying to find music,
yeah.
and to now be listed as a freshman, I'm completely grateful and honored.
And that concert was lit. That was a really great
It was
experience.
crazy. I've never seen anything like that. We were all kind of like skeptical because like people weren't allowed to get the pool, and we're like,
Yeah,
how's this gonna work with the people? But it
yeah,
was amazing. It was absolutely amazing.
yeah. I didn't even know there was a pool at that facility. I was just like, "How's there a pool party?" Because I had been there because Hillsong Atlanta
Yeah,
worship
yeah,
center. So I was like, I'd been there, but I ain't seen no pool. What is
yeah.
this?
It was like you had to
This
go
pool party?
outside
What
on
is
a.
happening?
Yeah, that was an amazing experience for sure.
That's cool. And I mean, this the whole ciphers was dope too. Kind of. I wish that they all like were just released so I can just watch them, like binge them all, but just like slow
Yeah.
teases of little chunks of you guys in your ciphers.
So yeah, the full ciphers are actually on YouTube, on Rapzilla's YouTube.
Oh, they're
I
all
think
out
all
now.
three of them are out now.
Okay,
Yeah. So
but
shameless plug. Go check out the
yeah.
ciphers.
Okay, so then I think I am caught up. Then I think the latest one was the one with was it Jackie Soul on that one? Were you the latest one or
Yeah.
the second to latest?
So the one I was in was the second,
Yeah,
but the latest one had Jekka Soul, George Rose, Big Breeze,
that's right.
and Mark Stevie. Yeah, that was that one.
Yeah. I mean it was The cypher was dope. The experience, like I specifically remember you at the concert because you left the
Oh, you were
stage and
there?
ran up a flight of stairs.
Wait, I didn't know you were there. That's crazy.
Yeah.
There's wow, there's so many people there. Yeah, I did during Time for Real, which is out now. We got to debut that song. And I was just like, I gotta do something. I don't know what made me feel that way. I was like, I gotta do something. This is kind of one of those like one in a lifetime opportunities where you're really in front of so many people. Like there were so many uh bigger, I guess you can say, for lack of better words, CHH artists there and personalities, and Letitia Wright was there from
Yeah.
Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was one of those days where it's like, time to make a statement a little bit,
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
that
that
was
was
that was
all
crazy.
impromptu, just spur of the moment. You're like, I'm just gonna run up these stairs.
Yeah, I was literally like, if you go back to like Rapzilla's live stream on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
while Jack is doing the hook, you can kind of see me looking around because I was like, I'm about to go somewhere. Where am I going? And yeah.
Okay, that was cool. Wait, I'm sorry. Hold on. Sorry, my grandma is here
Are you
visiting.
good? All good. You good?
It's all good. I'm almost done with this interview, grandma. It's cool. I'll put on it. It's gonna autoplay. The next episode of Wyatt Earp is coming right on. Okay. Okay. Maybe like 15 more minutes. His name is Kham.
Hi, Grandma.
Ham? What? Can't what? What your name is, baby?
My name is Cam, ma'am.
Cam. Okay.
Yeah, I know it's
Okay.
spelled a little different. Yeah, but yeah,
Oh. Okay. Okay. Well, you spelled out with a C.
with a K, with a KH actually.
Okay. You
Yeah,
okay?
little
Black
razzle
folks
dazzle.
always being creative.
You
Instead of
know,
using the C,
you
we
know,
gotta use a K. Okay.
you
Okay.
know. You gotta be unique.
Well, you mind, Cam, if I say a prayer for you?
Oh no, please. That would be
All
appreciated.
right, Lord, I want to bless this young rapper Cam.
Yeah.
Cam who rhymes with ham. Lord, I know when's the last time I had me some ham. It's been a
Mm,
minute,
thank
but
you.
I
Me
know I
too.
had me some bacon this morning and for lunch, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
get my bacon, Lord. I love pig, Lord.
Mm,
I sure is grateful you created the pig.
thank you, Father,
Such
for
a
the pig.
cute, fat, ugly thing that produces
Mm,
just tasty meats.
succulent.
Just tasty, Lord. But Lord, oh yeah, back to this young man, Cam.
Mm-hmm.
Cam, he got so much energy on stage, Lord. My
Yeah.
grandbaby came back and told me how he was running up a flight of stairs, Lord. He must have had that Holy Spirit, Lord,
Yes,
just
that
boosting him up them
Lord.
stairs, Lord. I couldn't do that. I mean, her telling me the story just made my heart skip a few beats. Cause I don't know this young fella. He could have slipped and fell in the pool. Lord, can he even swim?
Keep him
I hope
safe.
he can swim. You know, they say most black folk can't swim. But I sure hope even if he couldn't swim, Lord, that
Give him
Holy
the
Spirit would
lifeguard
just take
skills.
over and just get them
Yes.
arms and them feet just kicking and bring them back to the surface, Lord.
Yes, God. Mm.
Lord, I'm just glad that he can shuffle up them stairs, Lord, cause I sure enough can. But Lord, this young man, he got a fire burning for you, Lord. And I
Yeah.
pray that it burns long, just long and
Yes.
strong like them
Yes.
California fires, Lord.
Ooh.
I want them fires to go out, Lord, but I don't want that fire in his heart for
Ooh.
you, Lord, to go out. Just just let his little light shine bright, Lord. Let it shine bright like his big old smile you have blessed him with, Lord. I pray these things, Lord, in your son's name.
Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you
Yeah,
so
you're
much.
welcome, young man. You're welcome. I'm gonna let you get back to my grandbaby, and I'm gonna go
Ah,
finish this wide up. Nice to
go
meet
right
you,
on.
Cam.
It was nice to meet you too, man.
All right. Gay Liquor, he ready for you. I done blessed him with a little prayer. He should be good for you now. All right.
Your
Sorry.
grandma is so sweet.
I appreciate
So
that.
sweet.
She's sweet. She I guess sweet is a word you could say.
Oh man.
But now I'd like to move on to our 4-song breakdown.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
So the artist raps or recites a verse and discusses what's going on between the lines of the song story. So
Yeah.
for you, I
Do
chose
it.
Praise, Drive Me Home, Serotonin, and Wilm.
William. Yeah. It's the country hit.
Okay. And also, I mean, if you wanted to switch out one of them for oh my gosh, the one that you just released right now. From the Rob's it's on the Rapzilla
Yeah, time for real. Yeah.
Time for Real. If you want to
Hmm.
do one of those, switch out one of the songs I listed for that. We can definitely do that since it's
Oh
a
yeah.
newer song.
Definitely. Most definitely.
Okay. But if you want to start with Praise.
So I don't have a song called Praise.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I thought you were joking.
My bad.
You're good. You're good. I was see. I just be rolling with the punches.
Don't.
I was like, yeah.
Let me say this back. Okay, for you it
My
was
bad. I would have said something
problematic because I
earlier.
was like, why isn't Time for Real on here?
Yeah.
Problematic. Time for Real.
Yeah. No, you were good.
Okay. And if you had anything new that you wanted to
Yeah. Yeah. We can definitely start with problematic for
okay,
sure.
let's do
Let me see.
problematic.
I want to do first verse or second verse. I'm gonna do first verse. Let's do first verse. All right, so I can go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're gonna do first verse of problematic, and it goes like this. My tolerance for incompetence has been dwindling. My appetite for excellence is still magnificent. My patience for politics has been diminishing. Before you approach me, check your intentions, man. Running off determination and adrenaline, jogging around the opposition, claiming residence. Last call, all aboard, how I'm closing in. On everything I've been imagining, you know I've been problematic. When I approach the beat, man, you should know it's bound to happen. When y'all approach the beat, man, you should know it's bound to happen. Y'all stay mad and fake online, but I got real life happening. Life in notion, my story too deep, more than a caption. I'm more concerned about retention than who Twitter canceling. If you don't invest in you, then who gonna be the benefactor? Don't let them own your masters because they'll become your master. Then they'll label you a slave from the land of what's free. They trying to put me in a cage, man.
Mm, okay.
So
Break
the whole premise of the problematic album was just me addressing different issues and things in society that not only affected me personally, but just affects our world. And coming at them with what I believe are the solutions. And the whole like slogan, I guess you can say, for the album was I'm a problem to my problems. So
that.
that song specifically was really just addressing straight on uh, different things in different issues in the music industry as far as like the aim, don't let them own your masters, different things. Once again, social justice, um, just my approach to handling problems, and which is heading them face on, you know.
Yeah.
And in that sense, it makes me a problem to my problems, which makes me problematic. Really. So
Dope. Okay. And Time for Real. That's what Red Tips in
Red
Jack.
Tips, Jack of Soul, produced by Scooty Wop. Shout out to all of them.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
Foodie produced that.
he
Okay.
sure did. He went bananas on the beat. But yeah, Time for Real, that verse been getting a lot of love. So I can't wait. I would love to break it down. So let's get into it. So it goes like this. Can't be chilling when it's time to work. You see gold on my neck, I'm in first. I buy my baby a Birkin, but I know she after a whole nother purse. And my dog trying to stay out the dirt. The life that he living is sort of incidental. Either the streets gonna press him like a pedal or they put the muzzle on him in the kennel. How can I quit on my fellows when the felony could forfeit their right to be free? Or in the consequence for a small offense, I have them locked to 20 AD. I want to sit with the DA, though I ain't gonna be PC. I'm young with an MA, but I was killing tracks in the first degree. Ankle broke, ankle broke. I ain't come here to play today. Fan was low, had to pay just to make a wage. How you cope without knowing you'll be okay? I don't know, but I know he gonna make a way. My only option, go ball like a titan. I could care less if they remember me. Time is the essence. Expect me to empty every single clip out of the magazine.
All right. Right on.
Some sneaky lines in there.
Yes,
Some sneaky
yes.
lines in there. So that whole song, just for context, was really trying to motivate people to just pursue their God-given purpose with zero hesitation, zero reserve, just going after it hard, and not wasting time on like some of the little things that can hold us back from that. Some of the small worries in life, the Bible literally says, don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow brings its own worries and cares. Focus on what is, basically focus on what's before you today and go after it as unto God. So first line of my verse, can't be chilling when it's time to work, is literally just that. When it's time to go, it's time to go. You got to go hard, give it 100%. And again, for me, the constant kind of underlying theme in all my music is just like, you have God-given purpose. Your potential isn't just meant to stay potential forever. It's meant to turn into God-given purpose. And I feel like for me, my God-given purpose is to one day use whatever platform God gives me to just affect change in, whether it's in my community, in the Black community, dealing with the issues such as like criminal reform and systemic racial things, or dealing with youth. I love kids and working with youth. And the line about, my dog trying to stay out the dirt, the life to living sort of incidental, was really me thinking about some of my young boys and things here in the city I'm in now in Lynchburg, and what they're faced with on a day-to-day basis, as far as, they hang with me and certain of my peers, and they get kind of like one view of life, but then they got to go right back home to the streets, and they don't have a way that's where they live, that's where they stay.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's incidental, because it's like, it's just put in their face every day, even though we give them an escape for maybe a couple hours on a weekend or something. But I feel like them following me on social media and watching me and watching how my career has grown, because they've been with me since before any of this happened. And so them kind of seeing like me graduate and doing all these things while doing music, it's giving them like a view of another way out. But it's just so difficult, being that they're surrounded by their surroundings all the time. So yeah.
Wow. Okay. You got a lot going on. It's cool that you have all that outside of the music. It's not just about music.
Not at all. No.
Did you have another song or verse or something that you wanted to do?
You know what? We can break down the Rapzilla Freshman cypher verse. Let's do that. I know a lot of people are still trying to break down a lot from there.
Okay.
We can do that. Let's do that. Blessed with a gift, I never planned to rap. Or rapport builder, I relate by reporting facts. A lot of allies, bad apples, how I figured that. Surely who you rooting for gonna show me where you planted that. Craving food for thought, I could spare him a breadcrumb. We don't let the y'all know more, it's my new anthem. What I'm building got a strict floor plan. Take the cream out the Oreo. We cutting out the middleman, killing them. A lot of these dudes like flat braille, I ain't feeling them. My mind Titanic, ship them off, then I'm sinking them. If the connection bad, shut it off, or you gonna sync with them. Cam raps, killer Cam, same difference. That's a synonym. Tactical syntax. I'm black like the berry you call through. I mean, I'm black like a berry. I bear fruit. You see how easily words can get twisted. That's why I mind to run my own business. You dig it? CV the gang, man. Yeah. So there's a lot to unpack in there.
Okay.
So, man, like my whole approach really when it came to like writing for the Rapzilla cypher was firstly just thinking back to like what the OG cypher was like, just in hip hop in general. Cyphers was a time where like the real MCs came out and like just brought their best bars and just gave it their all. And I think being a part of the class that got to do the first Rapzilla cypher, I just wanted to bring that old school kind of energy to it, and while also staying true, like I said, to what the real underlying kind of message in all my music is, which is where you get the references to things like, a lot of bad apple, a lot of allies, bad apples. How I figured that surely who you're rooting for, gonna show where you planted at. Um, Back in 2020, there was a lot of performative activism going on as far as
Mm-hmm.
people, posting the black square and doing all these different things, trying to make it seem like they're, trying to spread awareness, but it was a PR stunt type thing.
Yeah.
And even down to um, when I'm building, got a strict floor plan, take the cream out the Oreo, we cutting out the middleman. That specifically was a reference to the music industry and how there are a lot of white executives kind of gatekeeping
Yeah.
the music industry and capitalizing off black people, black artists without really caring about them. You see so many artists on drugs and depressed and all this, and they're not getting the care they need. And it's just like, pump out another hit for us. We need money. Pump out another hit.
Yeah.
So that was what I had in mind. But also, there's definitely a racial undertone to that as well. Um, but yeah, then there a lot of other lines. It was just I was just trying to bring bars back, man. I was just trying to come heavy. I was trying to rap for
Get
the
it.
cipher. So that was a lot of
Mission
fun.
accomplished. Um, let's talk about that Rapzilla weekend though, because
Yeah,
like I just saw the concert, which was what Sunday. So
yeah.
then seeing the
Whew,
cipher come out, like obviously you guys were there for a day or two and
worked
kind
it.
of put things together. So how did that
Yeah,
whole weekend look like for you as an artist?
yeah. Little BTS. So we all kind of came in Friday evening, and basically that night we actually shot the video for Time for Real that night
Okay.
coming in. So we were supposed to come in and get dinner, but everyone got in at different times. So we ate a little bit, went, shot the video. We stopped shooting the video. I think we finished at like 2 a.m. It was late. We were working.
Yeah.
So did that. That was Friday night. Saturday, we basically all just really got to hang out, fellowship, get breakfast together. Well, different. We kind of split up into different groups, but did that, and then Saturday night was when we went and shot all the cipher videos, some extra content. You're probably seeing a lot of people post different like pictures with like
Hmm.
similar backgrounds. It was like we
Yeah.
shot photos, we did photo shoots, freshman class photos, ciphers, all that, um, which led into Sunday, of course, doing the actual show. But it was really a jam packed weekend. Just if we weren't working on music related things, we were just working with each other. People were making music. I think Rapzilla did like a acoustic sessions with some artists
Okay.
during Saturday during that time. And other than that, it was just a lot of fellowshipping and connecting. So yeah.
That sounds pretty amazing. So, how would you say God's presence looks like in your life musically? We talked personally. What about music?
Mm, yeah. Musically, I think it's his presence is pushing me to be more transparent about just my story, because like I said earlier, I do believe that I kind of fall into that unique like middle ground Christian journey story where it's like, I haven't had the crazy, unfortunate, just horrendous tragic things happen, but I also just not been perfect at all. And I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of times people in the middle find themselves in a place where they're like, I feel like things could be better, but I don't know how. I don't know why. And a lot of that uncertainty can lead into other things. So I feel like more than ever, just pushing home my underlying message about just God given purpose and doing that through being transparent about my life, which is what you're gonna get with a lot of this new music that's coming out here very, very soon.
Okay. Very, very soon. Okay.
Very, very.
Well,
I'm
three very.
talking like in the next month soon.
Okay.
Exclusive, exclusive.
Okay. Um, well, we'll have to talk so I can try to time your interview coming out around the same time as your.
Oh yeah. Oh, that would be amazing. Yeah, for sure. I appreciate that.
Okay. So, now that you've completed this whole interview process, who would you like to see me interview? Whose testimony would you like to hear?
Mm. Oh man, let me think really quick. Off the top, my man, Czar Josh, of course, because he actually his testimony is really a unique one as well. He deals with like speech impediments, like stuttering,
Okay.
except when he raps. Only time he doesn't stutter is when he raps. So
Okay.
and then obviously that's led to a lot of other different things like depression, anxiety, things like
Yeah.
that. So I would definitely reach out to him, and even honestly, have you? I'm not sure if you've done this already, but like Rockstar JT, have you interviewed
Yeah.
him?
Rockstar is my guy. I interviewed him last year, so that's
Okay, for sure,
cool.
because I know his story is amazing.
Actually, I've
He,
interviewed him twice, but the most recent one was last year.
let me think real quick. Honestly, I'm not sure if you've interviewed Jay. Have you interviewed Jay Crumb before?
Mm-mm.
Jay Crumb would be a very good one too. Thoroughly, yeah. He actually experienced a lot of church hurt
Okay.
early on, and so yeah, doing him that would be really good.
Cool. Appreciate that. Hey, what's up? Thank you. Thank you for listening to the show. Thank you for watching the show. However, you consume us, thank you. Please subscribe to the show. And if you really enjoy the content, please leave a review. It really does help with the ranking of the show. And if you want to go an extra mile, share the show, share this episode. And for all things testimony, visit testimonystories.com. Until next time, I'm Gilika Brown, the music lover constantly seeking positive music.